What did I do this time?
You
And
did.
then I got probably in trouble with George.
I always tease your mother-in-law.
She only brought it for me instead of everybody.
Yes, as well you should.
I only had
She
4
figured out I was on council, and I said,
There
yeah, I
was
sit next to him every once in a while. I gotta tap him, wake him up.
Oh, you do not.
When it's someone else's.
So I,
In advance, I
It
apologize.
was just beautiful.
Speaking of mother-in-laws, I went to see yours and she had COVID. I'm like, what the heck? And I was just kidding her. I got it. I whooped open the door. I'm like, I'm not
Hey,
coming.
why isn't this working? Who messed with this?
I'm kidding.
Sent her over to see Jerry's crew, they fixed her.
Both of those are on.
You got about 30 seconds there, dear.
Oh, at least she didn't have it bad again.
No.
So,
I feel very prepared now.
Well,
yeah, I know.
That is awesome.
Add this to your pile. This has to be notarized.
Okay.
Notarized, but I already signed it.
I said there's about 30 seconds.
Oh, why? It needs two
I
notarized.
got time
Give
to
me
Oh, you were
time.
exaggerating?
Give me
Well,
time.
no, because I knew she had to put on her belt and she had to play that.
Right.
Yeah, this thing.
I know how she operates, so I tried to get her to have a schedule.
That, and then I gotta get it to Shane. I can do it tomorrow. I'm here all day.
That's my job.
Alrighty. We will call to order this regular city council meeting for January 22nd. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tom?
Do we have any corrections to the agenda? It looks like we do.
Yes, we have got a couple of quick add-ons, Mayor. There's going to be 6F and 6G, just accepting a couple of donations that were already given and entered in already where they're supposed to be. So I'll tell you a little bit about those.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
First and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, A, second reading amendment City Charter, Chapter 1, Section 1.09, reducing the size of the Charter Commission from 9 members to 7 members. And this is the second, that's ordinance number 387 with resolution 2024-13 ordinance 387, amendment City Charter Board members.
So the only thing we need on that is a motion? I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-13.
Second.
Do we have any discussion on that?
We need people to get on it.
Yeah, we
To
do.
get the City Council off, yes.
We definitely need people to get on it. See what happens when you show up in the audience? You get put on a board.
Oh, I always wanted to be a part of the charter commission.
Sign him up. It's on
You
the
shouldn't have
tape.
said that.
We need, what'd you say,
All right.
5 people?
I've
So if anybody out there in TV land has
And it
ever
mean
wanted to be in
twice
public
a year?
politics,
They're
Roughly?
required to meet, I think they're required to meet quarterly now, but it's just a matter of,
see, they only meet once every 3 months.
For less than an hour.
yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Alrighty, so roll call, please.
Cheeks.
Aye.
Arvisu.
Yes.
Schmidt.
yes.
Shones. Aye. Landite.
Aye.
Mayor Corman.
Aye. So is there anybody in the audience that would like to talk about something that is not on the agenda?
Oh,
come
how
right
did
up.
you guess?
So if you could state your name and your address.
Of course. My name is Alan Gellerman. My address is 549 4th Street. I'm here today to ask for an animal permit to allow me to keep 4 cats in my home, as well as an authorization for me to start keeping meat rabbits. I am committed to providing them all with the best life and enjoying their companionship in return. As the owner of my home, I assure you that all my cats are 100% indoors, and that we surpass the suggested amount of litter boxes, scoop twice daily, regular maintenance, and an additional HEPA filter, keep excess fur in our house and any kind of dust that accumulates to a minimum. We also play with them throughout the day to ensure they don't get riled up. This commitment to their happiness and Tracy's prosperity extends to their veterinary care. All of our cats are sterile, microchipped, receive regular vaccinations, and undergo any necessary checkups and dental cleanings. With my remote job and near constant presence of my right-hand woman, our cats are almost never left alone for more than 6 hours. I assure that any concerns that may come up will be dealt with promptly. On to the livestock. In comparison to poultry, there are significantly more benefits for me with raising rabbits. Rabbits produce much more meat for less cost and virtually no noise. I'm in contact with the local 4-H family associated with the American Rabbit Breeders Association, and if permitted, I plan to procure my rabbits from them. I've been assured that they have experienced no medical issues with these rabbits and that they're accustomed to being around both humans and cats. If allowed, I would prefer to raise them within our home so I can control their climate year-round and eliminate concerns of them contracting disease from wild rabbits. To ensure their mental and physical health, I plan to build their cages twice as long as the standard, and of course provide them with the necessary toys, hay, and water feeders as well. Most importantly, I promised that they would experience a humane and quiet passing, and that the process would take place within the privacy of my garage. That being said, I understand the importance of complying with Tracy's ordinances. Should you have any concerns or suggestions, I'm ready to work together. It's logical to anticipate that the shelters around us will continue to become more crowded and that the price of meat will continue to fluctuate. I want to do my part by taking care of as many cats as possible and finding a way to maintain a meat source that doesn't disrupt our community. I appreciate your consideration, and I look forward to the opportunity to continue being a positive presence in this town.
Thank you.
You can talk about this a little bit at the mayor and council communications if you'd like. Once we get through a few more things, you can talk about it a little bit, but no real decisions can be made. We can discuss that later. There's a couple things that we can add to that though.
Okay.
So we'll talk about it here in a little bit if you want to stick around for a little while, but no guarantees that any decisions will be made tonight, okay?
All good.
Okay.
I'll be here.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Anybody else?
No. We'll move on to the consent calendar.
I'll make a motion to approve the January 8th council minutes, approve municipal accounts payable and payroll without the breakthrough beverage part, approve municipal accounts receivable, approve the local board of appeals meeting date, which is set for May 6, 2024 at 6 p.m., which I'm assuming is a meeting night. Or is that the in-between?
It is not. It's a between
The
room.
in-between one? Okay.
We have to have that as a,
Yep. I remember. Resolution 2024-14, approve the gambling permits for St. Mary's on the dates listed, assuming all fees are paid. And then approve resolution 2024-15, the donation from the Tracy Area United Fund to the library. And the resolution 2024-16, approve the donation from the Tracy Area United Fund to the Aquatic Center.
That was a mouthful, wasn't it?
Second.
First and second, any discussion on any of those?
Are you going to discuss those two, since we didn't have any information on it?
did you put those on there for
Yep, I
the
put
two?
them
Yep.
on your desk. There was.
I read them and we've got the info on them, but it's
Yeah, it's real simple with the Tracy United Fund. gave $640 to the library and $540 to the aquatic center to use. They just asked for what we would possibly be using, and I would assume you already got your money too, right, Val?
Right.
Yeah, because that's
Yeah.
already been put into the right account and everything.
Yeah, I need to figure that out,
Yeah.
but I'm waiting till Tyler gets
I'm waiting
back.
for Tyler to come back to make sure it gets into the right
But
account.
when we applied for it, I asked for it to be used for the summer reading program, so that's what I use to buy the prizes and all that stuff for summer reading. And then, what else was I thinking? I think that's it. I think just summer reading program. Any other programming? Oh, we'll have to do a budget amendment when Tyler comes back, so we can increase that fund by that amount. So.
And we usually put it for the aquatic, since last few years we used it as a part of the defibrillator that we had bought. And then we also used a backboard that we had purchased, and a new one because we were in need of that one. And this year I applied for the new one right away, just like I'm sure Val has already, because it's an every year thing. So I just actually handed that in today, that applied for the same amount again for this coming year, because the United Fund likes to give to those causes.
Is there any of that money ever could be used to have a free night for folks that can't afford to come, so to speak?
You could possibly do whatever you want with something like that. United Fund might look at that. That could be a suggestion. They're not looking for details of what I want. You know, I just put in what we'd probably use the $540 this coming year for. We're in need over the next few years out at the swimming pool or the aquatic center is new garbage cans. And you think that they're inexpensive? They're not. They're $700 or $800 a piece because they're metal, and now the old ones that we got out there are starting to get, they've seen their 20 years. They're starting to get rusted.
So the money should be used maybe to fix things up, or
You can use that money. They're not telling us what we can use. They would like an idea. When I do the application, that's what I put down for the application for 2024, which we received in January of 2025.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, but I'm open to suggestions like that too, though. I
Yeah.
really am.
Okay, anybody else have anything? Okay, roll call, please.
Landite,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Arvisu,
Yes.
Teagues,
Aye.
Mayor Corman.
Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve accounts payable for Breakthrough Beverage.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Arvisu,
Yes.
Landite,
Aye.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Mayor Corman.
Aye. So does anybody have any comments now that we're at the mayor council communication about the cats and the rabbits?
For the rabbits, I would have to look to see, but I don't believe that we have any regulations on rabbits, whether it's for consumption or anything. So that's a domesticated animal, so they're delicious.
I guess I would just soon think about this a little
Okay.
bit. Possibly check with the neighbors if they have concerns, or
On which one, George?
The cats or the dog?
Cats or
probably
rabbits?
both. Although if the cats never go out and the rabbits are in the garage, there's no issue, but it'd just be, I think it'd be polite to, and maybe you already have done that, I don't know. But to check, to make sure that somebody isn't got their hair in the dam.
Councilman, would you like me to check on that and just check into it, and then we can put it on the agenda for
You or the mayor.
2 weeks from now?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay.
And give us
That would
a
be
chance
fine.
to digest it a little bit.
Sounds good to us.
That would be fine.
Yeah.
Can you make sure that we have your name come up here maybe tomorrow, or even write it down today? You got the name
Yep,
and
we've
phone
been
number and
emailing.
everything?
Yeah,
Okay, thank you very much for coming up here. Appreciate it.
of course.
Appreciate you being a part of
Yeah.
the city of Tracy.
Thank you as well. You all have a great night, and thank you so much for welcoming
I
us.
Thank
I
you.
have one additional question. How many rabbits were you anticipating?
I'm only anticipating to keep a breeding trio. That would be 1 buck and 2 does. The does, of course, mate with the buck, and then we consume the offspring. That would be enough to feed me her and supplement our cat's diet as well.
Okay, then we will talk about it at our next council
We can
meeting.
put that on the agenda. Yep.
Should I show up for that as well?
Yeah, that'd be nice if you would show up for
Yeah,
or
just in case we
it's
have
up to you.
Sounds
In case
good.
there's some more questions, maybe.
Is it just 2 weeks from now, same time?
Actually 3 weeks. It's we're on an off
February
week, so it's the 12th, February the 12th.
Got it. I'll put it down.
Okay.
Thank you all so much.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Of course.
Yeah, like a treat, right? Okay, you want to talk about Denny?
Okay, I'm gonna pull up. Can you turn the TV on, please? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I meant to do that. I thought I did.
Tim, what time is your concert? Tim, what time is your concert? 7?
Yep. Mine too.
You gotta go too.
I'm not gonna go.
It's done before I get there.
I'm forfeiting. Things in person don't do for the city. Huh, Dave?
Way to go.
Bear's missing out too.
He's late, Tara.
Oh, you got
You know
covered.
what I mean?
She's already.
I'm trying to think.
All right, Mayor and Council, we had and he didn't come tonight like he was supposed to.
You watch that before I.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Dennis Norstegard was going to come up here today. I gave him the date and the time that we would be up here. I told him 6:30 also. So I would assume he's not coming. So if you look at the picture up there, so you can see the Norstegard family house is on the right-hand side of your screen up there. That is outside of the city limits. But then on the inside of the city limits would be where he put a shed up. So to put I'll just call it a driveway out and around all the way. You can kind of tell where the driveway is here. Well, Denny was under the impression that he owned all of that there. So you can see where the lot lines are. The yellow there are actually the lot lines. So where he built his driveway, all the way up through back here, the driveway all the way through here is all owned by the city. So he built on city land, essentially. So what we have to do is figure out what we want to do from here. I mean, it's on the agenda so we can discuss that tonight. Now, it's something that, it's talking about land. So if necessary, it could go into a closed session because anything dealing with real estate or employees can go into a closed session. But do we need to, or how do you want me to handle this?
So, does he want to buy that land?
Yes.
I'd say, because for driving by it for years and years, I thought he owned it too.
Yeah.
Not only that, but I used to bike out there a lot, and
Can you see it all right, Jan? Is that?
yeah. The thing is, is that the biking trail, hiking trail?
Yep.
that
That's
we're
the
looking
road
at?
that-
Off to the other side, yes. There's also a ravine that
And-
runs through there,
and
correct?
There's a little,
Yeah.
but that's all wooded. It's wild. It's steep.
There's a creek that runs through there. We wouldn't want we'd want to be in charge of what goes into the creek and everything, so.
Right. But my point is, that's not really usable land for us. In terms of our park, our bike trail, and that access road that goes along.
Yeah, there's nothing, it doesn't even come close. I don't believe you can even get through there. I've walked that plenty of
No,
times and
yeah,
it's thick.
It is rugged in that area. I don't see any great value to us as long as you said, we would control anything that would flow into that creek.
No, correct.
Let's go into a closed session for that.
Do you think so?
I think so.
Okay. Is
Just
that
to
all right?
be Safe.
Yeah, it is.
Just to be safe.
Today or on the next?
I don't feel real comfortable putting it out there today because I'd like to tell Denny about it and then, because I think I know he has the right to be there at the closed session too, so.
Yep.
So we want to put a closed session on that, on what we want to charge
So
for?
I think the closed session is for us to discuss it
The
without,
employee.
We want somebody to
Yes,
know
he has to
Harold be there.
So I'll check that out before I invite him there.
That-
And we can do that at, on the 12th, after the meeting is actually over. And we can discuss. So you might start thinking about it a little bit. Just what's put up there was what Shane did with his just drawing with it. So just to cover everything that's in the gravel would be, we'd have to sell what's in the red there. Shane, what was the area on that in the red?
Stay on that little box.
0.41.
Right next to his building, that line.
So it's 0.41 acres.
How much did you say, Shane?
0.41.
So not even half an acre.
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, huh, I thought that was his anyhow.
Gary, I'll look to see for sure. I'll find out for sure, and then before I decide, or before I make a call to him. Okay? Because we're not in any hurry. It's built.
No.
It's
Well,
already
He didn't come to the meeting tonight, so it's like we're not in a rush, obviously.
right. Well, we weren't going to be in a rush anyway. At one point, I will be honest with you that I had on there to call for a public hearing on the sale of the property, but I was advised by my
Someone that knows better.
knows better,
Is that
exactly,
right
right there, to not do that right away. It was kind of jumping the gun a little bit. So we took that off there. So we can put that into the closed session and we can talk about it in 3 weeks. Does that sound all right?
Perfect.
Perfect.
Do we have to do a motion or anything to
No.
call for that? Okay. All right, any other questions on that you want me to, I mean, it's really nothing to ask. It is what it is. I don't think anything was done in malice,
No.
but it was still,
I'll put it to, like, the road we had going out to the tree dump. We always thought that was a city road, but it wasn't. So we just had to make it right, and I think that's all we're gonna do here, but
you feel more comfortable in a closed session though?
I do.
Okay,
But if everybody else wants to move on, then move on.
No, I'd like to see the gentleman here. I think if he's truly interested, he will attend to present to us.
at least present a little bit of this. I'll have this saved and then we can go over this and he can kind of, that's what I wanted him for, was to explain a little bit on what he was thinking when he did it, so. And he could have just forgot to, so. Okay, we'll do that. All right.
Okay, moving off to staff reports. Tamara, would you like to go?
She's always first.
Jeez.
Always
Favoritism.
first. Always
No,
first.
last time she was last because
I
of this
know.
reason.
Well, I could go second because we've got to make sure the band part is done with the concert.
That's the part I was supposed to watch.
I don't know, we had a great year. We are above, first of all, let's back up. So December was good, but I think that December could have been better, but because of the way that New Year's fell on Sunday, that didn't help out much. So the sales, I think, merchandise purchases were down, about 13,000 below budget. Total expenses were down about 4. And the cash flow was like 3,000 above budget, so we had a cash flow of December of 13,000, 13 and a half almost. Overall, though, we rocked it. So we are 28,000 above budget for cash flow. So, and I looked at that and I was thinking, remember 5 years ago, we were like one meeting away from closing the liquor store, and now we're have a cash flow of 105,000. So it was thanks to our customers and thanks to the employees and all of that kind of stuff that we had a good year. We did have some employee issues, but now I think we're back to having some employees again. And start thinking about our 3rd annual Burgers, Bands, and Burgers, Bands, and Brews. I know, right? It's like coming up. We better get working on that. And I don't know, is there anybody that has any questions or?
Either on the 12th or the 22nd, you'll see a little bit more of a P&L from the, since this is one of our money-making parts of the city, you'll see a little bit better of a P&L that'll be in your packet, and then we'll talk about some other things. But we're going to do that after Tam and I and Tyler get together for a meeting.
So Tam, was this 2023, was that the third full year at the Highway 14 location then?
So we moved out there July of 2020. So July would have
So it's the
been.
third full year, but
Yep.
about 3.5 years.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, it certainly shows that the investment in the new facility there has been
I
worthwhile.
know, so you think we should buy the Family Dollar as long as we're at it?
Sure got a nice parking lot.
Don't push it, honey.
No.
I know, right?
Nice try.
Back in the day when Chris and I looked at that, they wanted like 300-some thousand or something for that building way in 5 years ago. But
No, but you're right, the finances are much more encouraging than they were 5 years ago.
yeah, we had a negative of 43,000 when I started, so yeah. So yeah, and I love that when I ask people like, what brought you, like if they're new and they don't recognize them, I'll ask them like, I love it when people say, oh, we were just driving by. It's like, perfect, that's what we're here for.
You asked me that today when I stopped.
I know. What are you doing here
You
for
walked
once?
out
Yeah.
in a big sale, huh?
I did.
Every now and then we get to see them.
And you met,
Thank you and your staff and City of Tracy people and for supporting it.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
And I'd like, Jeff and I talked about this before, and I've brought it, I've talked to Eric before too, but, I'd like to actually have, like, on the wall or something, I've seen stores do that, it says basically, like, something about pouring back the profits into the city or something to that effect, so people realize that when they support us, that we actually are supporting the community, you know what I mean? It's like, kind of a...
Even a number on there, if it's $124,000, $124,000 was put back into the city from the sales from this. I think that would show as people are walking out the door that they're buying in the right spot.
I think that's a good
For
idea.
a $60 sign.
Yeah. And they even have like hang tags like they have in my phone or whatever, but we'll talk more about that too when the three of us talk. On that note though, Black Velvet and Mac are going up, so before they do that, I sent Jeff a message. It's like, don't freak out when you see the invoices next month. Jack Daniels is doing a special, and Black Velvet and Mac are going up like $5 a case or whatever, but to keep competitive with like Marshall in the area, not Fulton and Slayton. But it's like we might as well be buying it now, and because we're going to go through it. So
How is Fulda?
so the guy in Fulda owns 2 stores in Mankato, and he bootlegs stuff up here for one. But he
Let's stop there.
yeah. But anyways, because he's privately owned, he can put a 30 cents profit on stuff to get for a lost leader if he wants to. And that's basically,
It's his business strategy.
yeah, it's basically what he does.
so Tam, you mentioned in your memo you had some labor issues, and that was you had trouble filling your whole staff then, but you're at full employment now.
So for the most part.
How many people do work there now?
So there's like 3 part-time people, and then there's 2 that are limited part-time.
Yeah, okay.
But the sad thing is like, it's nice to have a little bit of a pool, because of course, when you need something or somebody's sick, trying to pull from only a few people doesn't work. And then, it's kind of funny because people walk in and it's like, how come you're here so late? Who didn't show up or who's sick today? But
you got 5 people to draw on that.
well, but like one only works every other weekend, and one only works 4 hours during a weekday, and so there's like stipulations on some of those.
Sure, okay.
And on that note, it's like, we'll talk about that next month, right?
Okay, very good.
All right.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Good?
Jason, do you want to go?
Who the hell would beat him?
I gave you a kind of a breakdown of some of the numbers from 2023 and how they compared to 2022. If you have any questions about that or anything stuck out.
Can I interrupt for a minute? I really shouldn't have said bootleg. That wasn't the right word for that. So take that off the record.
I just saw your note on the squad.
Mm-hmm.
Are they auctioning it off, or is that one you put online then, and like for the
No, there is a state auction house that's just down the road from where
where it gets done?
Yep.
Gotcha.
So it's like 5 miles from where our installer is located. So he just takes it down and drops it off.
Perfect.
It works out really slick. I don't have to make an extra trip to the cities or.
Perfect.
Yeah. Only thing I'll add to the department the report that I gave you was we had 7 snow tags in Shane's last snow emergency, and so that was pretty good compliance. So.
Well, looking at the report, Jason, it looks like, the issues you deal with just run the gamut of society today, and you see about a little bit of everything, so I commend you for what you do.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions for Jason?
Good job, Chief.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
We don't know how blessed we are in this town when it comes to with the troubles that they have in a lot of the towns around here, and what I hear from other city administrators, the issues that they're having with employees and getting, we're lucky.
Good leadership.
Val, do you want to go on?
Okay, so just a couple of updates for you from my report. So I mentioned that we applied for an expansion for the Age-Friendly Minnesota grant. We did not get that. I applied for an additional $35,000. It was a very short questionnaire that we were asked to fill out. Jeff and I had talked about it. We thought it was worth asking, one of those worst that happens, they say no situations. And we could have gotten potentially the rest of that design done or paid for the community center. The silver lining to us not getting it now, and they said the primary reason is because we haven't spent the original amount that we were given yet, which is, of course, completely valid. So the silver lining is that we have an opportunity to apply for a grant for the next round, which will be this fall. And that will be a 2-year grant. And I'm thinking by that time we'll know more about the design and what's going to happen with the community center, and we'll have something else we can apply for. So, and then as current grantees, we will have an advantage in the next round. We'll get bonus points essentially.
Especially if we've used the money that we've got. I mean, that's what hurt us, and like you said, with the last one.
Yeah.
They were going to give us more when we haven't used the first.
Right. So, it was a timing issue, and we certainly understand that. But, we will still have an opportunity to apply for more funding through that. And I think it might be something that, as the community center project gets off the ground and, we get it running, it's going to be something that we're going to want to keep on our radar as a permanent thing, that we just keep applying for funds for this program or whatnot. So, and let's see, the Historical Society grant that we received to do the conditions assessment on this building and the VMC. The only update on that is that Jeff and I and Brian from ISG and Lauren from New History will be having a kickoff meeting this Thursday morning to talk about everybody's roles and what we're gonna do, get that kicked off so they can come in and start looking around, telling us what needs to be done here, which we already know, you know, a lot of it, but just to get that plan in place so we know. And
Explain a little bit more to them about who gets that first, you know, because we got a grant for this. There was a match that went along with it, but to get the needs assessment, they don't just give that to anybody.
Right, you know, for the grant, you mean,
Yeah,
or?
well, yeah, the money for the assessment itself. I mean, that gives us a better chance of getting.
Right. Yeah. So we're able to apply for these now because we're on the historic register. So you know, it was a competitive grant process. They met in November, I think. So yeah, they'll pay for 16,600 of it. We're matching 4,000, and that's for us to pay New History as consultants on the project. And then there will be some time for those of us, some in-kind for those of us working for the city on the project. So yeah, ISG will be coming in and going through the whole building, determining, we know about the tuck pointing and the HVAC and roofing. They're going to give us the whole gamut of both buildings for that.
We're going to start taking pictures in February, and then the actual assessment will take place in March. It'll put us right in line. We found out from Lauren that the application is due for the larger grant or whatever is in May 31st.
Yeah, that's the preliminary, and then the final is in July. We're going to be cutting it really close on that. There's a chance, depending on how things work out, hopefully we'll be able to get in for that grant round. So.
Is that grant round like once a year?
Yes. So, and it's usually about 10 months between. So, this one is in July. It'll probably be a couple months earlier than that. So it would be, in the first part of 2025 if we could not get it this year.
Well, you'll make it to the first one.
That's not necessarily that's ISG's job to get that
but
done.
But they know
so
the time frame.
Yeah, we've already talked with Brian about that, and they're well aware of it. They already also know the building really well. They've obviously been here several times,
and they know the program itself.
Yeah.
So they're helping us out with that. This kickoff meeting this is more informational about we're all on the same page, what needs to be. So I have to fill out some paperwork for her and sign some contracts.
Yep.
And once we get that in, but that is going to be, it is, like Val and I have talked a dozen times, this is so important because we know the amount of work that needs to be done to this building. So if we can go there and get a big chunk of money since we're already part of the historical, this already a historical building. So they just don't give this assessment money or the needs assessment money just to anybody. They give it to people who they're going to help. So now we got to figure out how much help we need.
Like you said, hopefully since ISG knows the timeline and everything.
Yep. This is important. This is really,
and this
really
is
important.
January. This isn't something they haven't had on their radar.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, we put out that RFP last year.
Yeah, that was done before the grant was applied for.
So I mean, it's not like this is coming as a surprise to them. So I would hope, as a business, they will make sure we meet those deadlines.
It was the end of January, and they're going to start taking the pictures in February with a local ISG person that lives here in town, and then they'll be all set up and ready to go for when Brian can start March 1st. And it's he said it'd be about a month of assessments that he's going to have to do. So we're going to go through this place with a fine tooth comb.
And I'm less concerned about ISG than I am about the fact that the Historical Society then has to approve all our reports before we can apply for an additional grant. So it's more...
hurry up and wait.
Right. So I'm confident that, with ISG and New History, we'll get this done on time. But then the Historical Society has to approve it before we can apply for the grant in July. So...
But we have a liaison with the society, so she will help us through everything. And again, this is important. This is really, really important.
losing a year would be a loss.
Yeah, but we can also apply for it, we're still looking at from our end, perfect scenarios where we wouldn't have to, let's say we did some of this in 25, if we were able to, potential of budgeting this in 25 and 26, it would help us out so it didn't all hit in 1 year too. Because then it's, then as you know, it's tougher no matter how much money we get from the, being an historical building, they're not gonna pay for it all.
Right.
We're gonna try to get as much as we can, but they're not going to give it all to us. But if we can get a huge chunk of something that needs to be done anyway, so it's either you get help paying for something you're going to do anyway, or you're paying for all of it yourself. It's important.
Sounds encouraging for sure. A question for you, Val. I noted in your memo the consideration of National Register for some aspects of the park, Central Park.
Yep.
And you'd be referring to there the band shell and the fountain area.
Mm-hmm. I believe New History had determined that Central Park as a whole may be eligible, and then within that, the band shell and the fountain. So it's potentially 3 different things. But yeah, that's something that we want to talk with New History about too, is getting that ball rolling on Central Park so that we can start this chain of funding going for that too, which if we can get some band shell repairs or something, that would obviously be fantastic.
Well, good. Val, I think you're taking the right tact on how you're approaching these grants. You're active, and that's the approach to take.
We're trying.
All I can do is say no.
That's right.
Well done.
All right.
Because they're not easy. When you look at them, there's no way I'm filling one of these out. I mean, I can fill out a real simple one, but there's no way of what she does.
Thanks for what you do, Val.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Questions on library things are good too.
I think we're good. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
If I haven't had a chance to read the report, we've been pretty lucky on snow removal this year. We haven't been hiding. We've actually been accomplishing quite a few different things. As I stated in the report, we've painted all the pool features. We still have to install them. So once the weather gets a little nicer here, we'll get those put back up here before it's another thing to do in May. And then, hoping to clean the liquor store out. Spent a considerable amount of time there, and then moving snow and cleaning up. So we did get some trees planted here before the frost got a little thick here in the parks. If there's, I did put on there the ice rink. Anyone have any thoughts on continuing that program? This year it's been a complete flop because it stayed warm. It got cold for a week and a half, and now it's going to be 40s next week, so it would never stick around this year. So, but yeah, don't really have to say anything now, but you guys want to think about that moving forward here. So,
I was happy to see the using a grader to get this compacted snow off of a lot of the streets.
We're going to be working. It's probably going to take the better part of the week to get through everything, but we're working through town here, scraping everything down here now that it's finally warmed up. So if you haven't got to your street yet, we'll be there. So maybe till Thursday, Friday before they get through everything. So
Thanks for cleaning up after the ice storm too.
yeah, that was
It
another.
was very nice.
The day
That was
I was
another
going to go and
2-week
pick
affair.
it up, all of a sudden they came home. It's like it's gone.
Yeah, there's
I had the same thought. I got home from the farm early so I could pick up my sticks, and they were gone. Thank you.
Yeah, we tried to get everything in the boulevards. Hopefully we got them all. There's quite a bit in the parks. A little bit at the cemetery left yet, but it snowed before we got everything picked up there. So it'll probably be a spring or next week affair. So, any other questions?
For the meters, you're getting a replacement for that water meter reader.
So we purchased that, I think it was August of 21, and it's a 2-year warranty, so, or no, 3-year, August of 22 with a 2-year warranty, so we're good till August. So we sent ours off for repair. Hopefully we get it back within, it said 4 to 5 weeks, and we get the loaner for 45 days, so hopefully by the time they get theirs done, we can turn the loaner back in, so. But we did find another city, and I expressed our gratitude for letting us use their equipment, and I told them we could return the favor if they ever get in a bind, but say one little device means a lot when you need it, so otherwise we'll be going into 900 some houses and businesses trying to get meter readings, so.
Yeah. Makes you wonder how the city ever got things done before we went to this auto.
Yeah, well, before it was a month behind, and they had homeowners read the meters on their own, so. Yep.
Payment.
No, Shane, looking at your report, even though there wasn't much snow removal in December, you guys got a lot of things done.
It was a good year for it not to snow. Trying to get snow removal equipment in where we're trying to paint pool features wouldn't have been real handy, so.
It's nice you've got on your staff some really mechanical guys that can fix some of these big pieces of equipment.
Yeah, and we have a truck torn apart right now, so we're waiting for the engine to come back for that, so we can finish putting it together, so.
The snow truck?
No, the 3/4 ton pickup, the 2001. It's got it had a little terrible knock to it, so. Well, Sean's got that tore apart. He's rebuilding the engine on it, so.
I looked at it for about 2 minutes and I turned around and walked the other way.
Wait, yep, that's an engine.
Oh, yep, that's what it is.
Everywhere. So, I guess I can do this later. I can touch on the pay apps now while I'm up here. If you have any further questions when we get to it, I can answer those. But just figured I'd give you an update. I didn't think Kyle needed to be here to explain that we're all basically in the final stages of this, but I think he plans on coming the next time here. So 382 project, we got some warranty items are watching, some settlements here and there on some sidewalks. We're going to look at those next year. Mid-August for the Center Street and 382 project is the 1-year warranty walkthrough. So when we get to the 11-month time, we're going to walk through and see if there's any items that they need to fix under warranty. The final pay app for 382 isn't ready yet. There's some quantity issues between the sod contractor sold in the middle of the project to another owner. So the owners are sorting out everything between which owner had what as far as their quantities go, and then once that's done, then they'll do the subcontractor sign off on that. That's the only thing we're waiting for. So it didn't quite make it to this meeting, so hopefully the next meeting we'll have that ready. And then in this, we'll have a pay app in this meeting here for the pipelining project, and then be some restoration stuff in the spring just to look at there. They just did some seeding, spot seeding, where they had to do some digging with that project. So any questions on any of that?
Sounds like overall you're feeling good at where the project's set.
Yep. It'd just be nice to get everything finalized out. But
I think in March?
I think actually hopefully next meeting.
February, okay.
It's kind of working out nice because we're not throwing everything at USDA at one time. They kind of appreciate having that a couple weeks apart for each project, so they can work through all the closeout paperwork. There's quite a bit of closeout paperwork for these projects with the USDA, so yeah, that's all I have. Do you have any questions?
Get all that done, then you'll be working on the airport stuff. So it's
yeah, and that's in the works now.
one into another.
Where still on track though, some of that money that was gifted to the airport for this project, that's still able to get a hold of it. We haven't run out of a timeline to get it.
For the grant funds?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all in place yet, so.
Okay.
Yep. And I will have, I've been working with Bollig on a crack sealing project. We have a section of asphalt that's getting pretty rough from the old hangars to the fuel system there. And then there's some cracks in the 2019 project that are starting, so get those filled here before they get too bad. I was going to run them under the maintenance with just the regular budget, maintenance budget, but I was able to get a grant for that, so it's 75-25. So we'll be putting that together here for the next meeting, as far as getting that covered 75% by the state. So,
have you identified any streets that needs crack sealing in town?
oh yeah, I have a
It's better to
plan
get them
through.
early, isn't it, as later?
I have a plan through 2030 for the street project, and I think there's some seal coating for this year too.
When do you send the bids out for the letting for stuff like that, or?
So those won't be full bids because they fall under 100,000, but we're probably looking for quotes here this spring, because we'll have to measure all the cracks, linear feet all the cracks, so we know what they're looking at for total pounds of rubber. And then the street project so 2017 is what is earmarked for this year for the seal coating. So the phase 1 project on the east side of town. And then 3A1 will be, I think, next year. So as long as the budget allows us to keep going on that. So
They come up faster and faster.
it's already been it's been 5 years for. So it's within 6 years is ideal for seal coating a new road, so the asphalt don't dry out. And prolongs it substantially.
Well, and I think that's one, like you said, for as long as the budget will approve, I think that's one of those we need to make the budget work for it, because otherwise we're at the point where we're ripping up a street and redoing it again.
Yeah, 2 blocks of seal coating is, 5,000-6,000 a block maybe at the most, and you're looking at, probably 40,000 for a overlay. That's just 1.5 inches. That's not a reconstruct by any means either. So
I think that's one of those, like,
money well spent.
Yeah, the program you put together, I think, makes complete sense.
Gotta stay on it.
Anything else?
Shane, the timeline now for the runway, is that pretty much set in concrete now? There's no pushing that back any further? That's what it is?
For the
runway?
Rehab?
Yeah.
That, it could be pushed a year or two if we need it to, but it's still kind of on track right now.
Mm-hmm.
They had to do some, they did some survey work, more environmental type study on the end of the runway, basically determining what's considered wetland and what's not, so they can get the appropriate permits and plan accordingly with that. So
When we do the runway, how long will it be out of service?
no, I would say a few months, because they're gonna have to extend. They're going over that ravine at the end, and there may be an instance where they'd probably end up doing that first, and then leave the existing runway alone. The only problem is when you're running equipment at the end of the runway, it runs into a potential issue with planes coming in and out, hitting, whether it be a crane or an excavator at the end of the runway. Just a safety hazard, but that could be a temporary closing for a day or two here and there too, it's depending on what they're doing. But they try to minimize closure as much as they can, but at some point you're gonna have to completely reconstruct it.
Do you want to talk about the liquor store RFP a little bit?
So I did put together last week RFP to demo the old liquor store. This week sometime, they're gonna come in and do the asbestos analysis and do some testing on it, see what we need to remove, what's good and what's bad. So that'll happen. He was pretty sure he could make it here this week yet, and he usually don't take long to get, once the samples come back, it doesn't take him more than a few days to have it all cleared out of there. So once that's out of there and we get the rest of the items removed, and other than disconnecting electric, it's ready to come down. So
When does the RFP go out?
it hasn't yet.
Yeah, but when? You figure it will go out?
We figured maybe in a month and a half. It's kind of what I have on now. It gives them time to get it emptied out. And then when they look at it, everything's cleared out. It's an empty building. So all the refrigeration stuff's been disconnected. So we've got a good start on that already.
We only have liability on that place all the way up until the 21st of March.
And so, you don't think they can possibly get it torn down before then, right?
With the frozen
Right.
ground, it's not going to work well.
And so, are we going to do a better perimeter than around it because of potential liability for the condition of the building?
We'll have to put something up, yes, with it being, but we will have liability. That's what we'll have on it. Right now, it's still insured. We had to insure it since it is one of our buildings. We had to insure it, but now we can get it down to, I believe it was the 21st or the 23rd of March when that's all we'll have on it is.
Well, we'll still have the liability.
We'll still have liability
I
on it,
thought
yes.
every coverage went off.
We'll still have
Okay,
liability
good.
on it.
That was my concern.
I'm not praying for a lightning strike, but.
So,
How did the sales go for the stuff at the liquor store?
We got just another $300 check today because the bar is gone, and with $300 that we found that Shane and I found in treasures over there in cash, about $2,300. We still got a few things left over there. There's still some nice things in there. A bunch of Wadens coating that somebody wants to come in and take it off the walls over there. That'd be great. But all the chairs and everything, things like that, just aren't selling. But so we were at our ends over there. We do have the the gumball machine left. So we got the new locks for that. Shane ordered those. He's putting those in, so we'll put that on eBay. So we'll make another few $100s out there.
I would think that'd be kind of a catch because
Yep.
it's so old.
Yep.
Just lucky you didn't sell it.
For $400 or
Yep,
negotiate it. and
$300
somebody got
bucks
$300 in cash.
I told you.
It was packed in there pretty good.
It was. I shook it.
I wish I knew the family of, the father would come in with this little boy and he would still want to put his quarter in for one of those gumballs. And I said, I don't think we should even let him do that. This is really old, and those gumballs have been in there forever.
They still taste all
It
right.
tasted good, yeah.
And he said, he is insisting. And I'll bet that dad would love to pick that up for his kid. If you're watching out there, it's going to be for sale.
Maybe a few gumballs if anyone wants one. Stop by.
you sell them for a quarter?
It's coming with a
Just got to get the
gumball.
good ones that aren't faded too bad.
Okay. Oh.
Anything else?
Don't think
I don't think so.
Great.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thanks.
You guys and you are doing a great job. Thank you.
I will pass it along. Thanks.
Please do.
All right, I've just got a couple things that I've kind of let some of the department heads touch on a few of the things that I had here also, but just want you to think about the amount of construction over the next couple of years when we're looking at $600,000 for homeowner occupied, $450,000 for commercial through grants. That was going to be construction. The 2 new houses for sure that we're going to be putting up through UCAP is going to be $660,000. We've got 2 commitments to 2 other new houses here in town over the next year and a half, which could be another $1 million. You look at the airport and the not only the runway but the hangars that we're putting up. You add in the potential of $1.5 million in this, and you add all that together, and you're looking in the the $7, $8, $9 million worth of construction that we're going to be doing here in the city of Tracy over the next few years. it's exciting. It's busy. It's very busy. It's good to have the street project, even though I had nothing to do with it and I worked hardly anything at it besides signing my name a couple times, but having that out of the way, so some of the other things, and the community center, if that does, the potential community center, if that gets built, you're looking at another $1 million there. So it's the amount. It's just exciting to be able to see the amount of construction, which brings jobs to town. It brings new housing to town. Everything that all of that does is good for the city, especially the city the size of Tracy. But anybody got any questions on that over the next 6 months or so, where everything is moving along the way it's supposed to? Again, Val talked about the VMC capital improvements here. It's going to be a lot of discussion over the next 6 months on when we can get this done, when it needs to be done, when we can get the excess money from the Historical Society for this place. And then, then we're going to have to make the decision on doing it, and then it'll be up to us to find out, where we're going to get the excess money, because we're not going to get everything paid for. But you either get some help and get it done, or you do it yourself, and and it has to be done. Tuck pointing, especially, whether we get a $200,000 for tuck pointing is what they figure it's going to cost. If you don't do it, you're going to have bricks falling out, and you're going to have more troubles when you have to do it. We need a new roof. We're having a lot of trouble right now with HVAC here in the building, versus it was 45 below zero. So you might hear a couple complaints out there about it was cold in here for a couple of tournaments. We're doing the best that we can, tearing things apart. Yeah, you couldn't get everything warm. The pool is the process of opening the pool. I know it's January the 22nd, but we are starting that in 2 weeks with open houses for employees. So we will be doing that on a couple of Saturdays in February. We're getting the brochures and everything taken care of, so that all will go as smooth as it did last year. February the 15th is, I don't remember which one of you it was, but I had 6 of 7 people that said they could make it on the 15th, and that seemed like it was going to be the best day, and I don't remember who it was that couldn't make it on the 15th.
Well, but the time that you set would be for my evening meal break, because I work into the evening.
From 5:30 to 6:30 then? Okay. And I'm working with Bollig right now. I do have a couple of new sketches that I'm going over with Shane. And we're kind of, not making any decisions, but just taking a look at it, different sizes. I believe that Bollig will be very prepared when they get here on the 15th at 5:30. And we'll probably do that right in, I guess I don't know if we're having it at the library. I don't remember which place I said I would.
I think it's at the library.
Was it? Okay, I'll have that in the library then.
That happens to be my anniversary. Do y'all mind if I bring Kendall?
You can bring Kendall along.
You can bring cake. I thought you were going to say cake.
That'd be awesome, yeah.
Jeff, I would have to leave at 6:15.
I think that would be fine. I think we're going to get a lot done in that, because it's going to be a presentation by them. I know that I just don't want there to be, here's the task I gave Bollig. I said, I don't want you to walk out of there on the 15th with any unanswered questions. I don't want any questions that get asked that night. I want them to be answered. So they're going to be able to give you what is a certain square foot building is, and with these amenities in it, all the way to the outside, to the roof, to everything around it, everything. So, working with Bollig a couple times a week on that. Angela's been real easy to work with. Okay. Liquor store teardown, we talked about that, February 15th. Tyler will, he's gone for the last couple of weeks. He went to visit his wife's family, him and his wife and kids. No sense in going to Guatemala for 1 week, so they went down there for 2 weeks, so he'll be gone for another week. But everything seems to be smooth running over there. A lot due to Stacy and Krista working their butts off, and they're not having the extra help. And then Diane has to go down there for noon hours every once in a while when somebody's sick or somebody's gone, whatever. But we're getting it all handled with the people that we have. Having somebody out for 2 weeks, not that I blame him, but it's tough with another person down for 2 weeks straight. The last thing they got on there, and I will send it out to all of you, we are budgeted for an EDA person for 3/4 of the time. So that would be April through December. And with everything going on, in my opinion, it would be a good idea that we look at hiring a potential EDA person in April or May for the amount of things that we have that are going on. So I will look at that. I'm looking at, or Diane and I actually are looking at the job description, and we would get that to you, and then we could talk about that as a yes or a no type of thing before we do anything. We would discuss wage, everything.
So if you want to have them hired by May,
I know.
because they'll probably have to give a month's notice once they're offered the job, so we're talking.
It's a 2.5 month process. It's kind of on the back burner right now with everything I got going on. But yes, and I've got that particular not particular person, but I have the specs of somebody that I of what I'm looking for. Yeah, I have that. I just want to be able to put it into words and not as wordy as what we're finding online. But I'll put EDA and community development on there because that'll really take both those names.
Turn the burner off on it, Diane.
She keeps me in line, let me tell you.
I believe.
So I will get that to you, and we'll have a discussion at a city council meeting or by email. No decisions really. Just that I'll give you my thoughts, and that I should be able to after next week, I should be able to start working that full time. Right now, I'm putting together, or I'm having Diane help me there too. I'm putting together reports that are due every 3 years or 4 years for the League of Minnesota Cities right now. They're working on a few things with me. They've been very easy to work with. I didn't know, that free help. It's awesome. So I'm working with them on at least 3 different things right now. My training, the Cassell, I haven't had a chance to get with Cassell yet. Actually, Cassell hasn't been working very well on my computer, so I'm still looking at getting on. All the training is online. Diane is actually going to go to, we had it budgeted, Diane's going to be going to some deputy clerk training in March, St. Cloud though.
Mm-hmm.
That she's going to be going to that. And then I have a couple of trainings, one in Redwood Falls on February the 1st, and then I got a couple of days that are new city administrator meetings in Mankato in June.
Nothing in Florida or Arizona.
I didn't know it was an option.
It's not.
Probably isn't. Just
Not in the budget.
curious if you looked.
Remember back when the mayor and they went to Tracy, California?
Mm-hmm.
Thinking maybe we should all do that.
I know, it's
Nice
coming up.
try.
So there is a lot going on. You should be very happy with the employees of the city right now, with the much work as there needs to be done and all the extra things, not just cleaning the streets, but it's everything that we've got going on with the writing the grants and the amount of, it's not good things, but the amount of police work that needs to be done, the amount that Shane's doing, all the extra tasks that Diana's taken on for the last, 4 years. We are lucky to have the people that we have, or I am anyway, or I'd be lost.
We're all lucky.
That's what I got. Any questions on any of that? I'll stay abreast of everything that's going on, especially with this building and ISG and the community center. So we'll have that meeting on the 15th. You've got it on your schedule as I sent that out.
I forget the time right off.
5:30 in the basement.
Yep.
On the 15th. We avoided Valentine's Day just so you could take your wife out for a good dinner, George.
Yeah, I was planning that.
Okay. All right.
Can I just add, and
Sure.
I was just notified that Dennis was not here tonight because he is home. So it's not that he didn't want to
Oh,
be here
that's
too.
Good that he stayed away. Well, we talked about what we were going to do anyway, and it's not like we're in a big hurry with that.
No, I just didn't want people under the perception
Yeah.
that he didn't feel it was important to
No,
me.
I think he knew it was important. I actually thought he probably forgot, but yes, that's good, great. And I'll reach out to him to make sure he's here on the 12th, just for the open part of it, and then he can explain, what happened. Okay, so if you want to move on to new business, can we do that, Mayor?
Yep. Please.
New business, let's do number 2, resolution 2024-10, update to the city handbook, dealing with the ESST. So, you need a motion to the updating that we did. It was in your packet.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-10 to update the city handbook.
Second.
Does anybody have any questions on that before we take roll call?
I have the corrections on the bottom of the resolution as printed.
Uh-oh.
The one I've got, it says City Administrator Eric Hansen.
Yeah, it's already been changed.
Oh, all right.
Okay, roll call, please.
Jones.
Aye.
Teigs.
Aye.
Arvisu.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Landeck.
Aye.
Mayor Corman.
Aye.
All right, number 3, resolution 2024-11, approve change order number 2, phase 3A sanitary sewer improvement pipelining. If you got any questions for Shane on that, he would be happy to answer that, any of that.
So this change order is just adjusting quantities for this is the final payout. So it's just quantities that they ended up not using that were bid on. So it's a substantial decrease. So we like those.
How much was the decrease?
Yeah.
I think it was at 80
92.
or 92,000. Yep.
Look at that.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-11 to approve the app change.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Arvisu.
Yes.
Jones.
Aye.
Landeck.
Aye.
Teigs.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Mayor Corman.
Aye.
All right, number 4, resolution 2024-12, approve pay app number 7, final phase 3A sanitary sewer improvement pipelining. It was explained already, yeah.
And then that one's done, right? I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-12.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Hallelujah. Is that
Oh, please. Yeah, that's.
one out of the way?
All right, a vote on that?
Roll call, please.
Teigs.
Aye.
Landeck.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Arvisu.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Mayor Corman.
Aye. And with that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you all tonight.
Good to see you, Bear.
We are all having another